Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I feel like my volume got to be even more, but it's not.
Hey.
Hey! I haven't heard this music in forever. Hold on, let me get this applause. Let me get the round of applause. I haven't heard this music in forever. I haven't heard some drops in forever. I feel like I haven't seen y'all brothers in forever.
Word.
But it's really only been like 2 weeks.
It hasn't even been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been like a solid 2 weeks.
No, I seen each other.
Yeah, you seen each other last week. We just didn't pod.
Oh, that's right, damn. My fault. Sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation. Yo, y'all have chosen to pull up with your brethren, man. This is the Bread Fellows podcast. Episode what?
Oh, 21.
Episode 21, man. Damn, it's been so long.
Episode 21. You gotta get it right.
Get it right.
Where it doesn't have to be the Last Supper.
To break bread.
All right, man. You know we have to put that in there.
Right. Cause y'all love it, man. Also, we do, man. This is where we pod with a purpose. I am your brother, Zamar, aka Spiritual Shooter, Blocka.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I have to my right?
Got your brother Zion, the Lion Zion.
Just know that. That's right. Tell them who you are, man. With the nice Lamar. How you pronounce it? Lamar. The Lamar T.
Yeah.
Tell them who you are.
Brother Free, man. Know what I mean? You know.
Free smoke.
Tell them who you are, man. Nah, tell them for real. I gotta put this in your bag. Tell them why you free for the first time listening.
Hey, man, because I'm free from the shackles of society, man.
That's right.
We're not brainwashed over here.
Right. Give a round of applause for not being brainwashed. Well, actually, you know what I say? Actually, I feel like we are brothers that are brainwashed.
Yeah, the right.
Because really,
oh yeah, the right way.
Yeah.
Because you gotta wash your brain. You know what?
Yeah,
I say
exactly.
our brains are more dry cleaned.
Dry right now. Oh no, wait.
Yeah.
People in the world or us?
No, like they're brainwashed and we're dry cleaned. It's like
I see what you're saying.
I mean? Like we really went in there and took out all the stains of what the world did.
Got you.
To keep us in a desolate state. Know what I mean?
So somebody who's brainwashed would be the equivalent to what?
Well, because I feel like it's more. The word I like to use is polluted. Like their mind is polluted.
Right. And then
so it has to be cleansed and washed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, so with that perspective, then what would you liken someone who is brainwashed? If we're brain dry clean and those that are completely deprived of all knowledge
of self,
are dirty minded, then who's someone who would be brainwashed? I guess that would be the medium.
I mean, I'd say, you know, a brainwashed person is somebody who's filled, like they're almost there, but they're filled with too much doctrines, and it's just jumbled up.
A doctrinal person?
Yeah, a doctrinal person.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
okay.
Where
like
you know, because you know at the cycle, it goes too many times.
Right.
You know what I mean? It causes brain damage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hold on.
If
I had a drink, I would toast you. Right. That was good for me, man. You know what I mean? That's my man. That's my man. I like that. Okay.
Oh,
so, like I said, you know, even though y'all brother said that I had seen y'all last weekend, which is true, I feel like it's still been a while since we was able to be in front of the cameras.
Yeah, that's
for brothers and sisters to be able to see how we're doing during this time. I don't know for those that have seen this podcast before, we usually do this in the nighttime.
Yeah.
But because of curfew, and here in New York, the curfew here is 8 p.m. It's still daylight. It's still daylight right now, so we had to do the lighting was different, right? To give y'all a little BTS, a little behind the scenes for those of y'all that kid. The setup is a touch different. You know what I mean? So give the people a little bit how you been, what you been going through. We'll start over here with brother Free.
No, man, you know, it's been a crazy ride, you know what I mean, with all the chaos going around. You know, Yeah, man. You know, just trying to keep it positive. Daddy duties, of course. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's been lovely. You know what I mean? Amongst other things.
Amongst other things. Oh, I got you.
Heard you.
I got you.
How you doing, brother?
How am I doing?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes, and y'all could delve in. I feel like sometimes when you want to say you've been doing exceptionally well because of XYZ, that sometimes if it's in the midst of an otherwise dark time, people don't want to hear how good you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like if
I
you
guess
like,
it depends on who asks.
like if you like, that's what I'm saying. But some people might be like that. Because for instance, why do I say that? Because I've been doing exceptionally well. You know, considering the times that we in as a people, and of course our brothers and sisters are being laid waste. But I've been able to have an abundance of peace, and I just feel like, you know, from the Most High, it's been an incredible thing. People that's just been around me, places where I've been able to rest my head, my own personal primary residence, other places people have like looked out for me. It's been a beautiful thing, for sure. So that's that. And what about you? What about you, Lion Zion? What's it been looking like, man, in these streets? In these curfew COVID streets?
It's been cool, man. You know, it's been a lot of static in this area anyway, just involving.
Brother always want to rub the beard when you about to lay down some jazz or something. You know, it's been cool.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool. Other than my job, like it's been a bit tumultuous.
At your job, but you're not at your job.
Yes, and that's the irony of it all. Like we're not even in the office physically,
And
but
it's still smoke.
it's smoke. Like to the point where I couldn't imagine being in the office with the levels of tension that I'm seeing right now. Like it's just crazy.
And you're in your house.
Yeah, I'm in my house. Well, let me
That's
give you
crazy.
a backdrop. You know, with everything that's going on right now.
Cause you work somewhere where there's a multitude of people.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say a multitude, but I work in a corporate setting for a public media company.
Okay.
So with this said public media company, due to all the stuff that's going on right now and the my employer having a lot of African American, so-called African American employees, they felt that they've had to address what's going on in some shape, form, or fashion. And it's just been a lot of controversy about how they're going about addressing certain things. We're seeing a lot of tone deafness.
Of course.
We're seeing a lot
I bet.
Yeah, so
Tone deafness.
a lot of insensitivity. Just a lot, you know, the things that you face when you're dealing with people that don't really understand or care to understand the plight of our people. So it's caused all kind of controversy, but it really put me in the mind of my Facts of Cap. Like that's what spawned the mind for my Facts of Cap because of a situation that happened at work. So I'll give you the Facts of Cap and I'll explain more about the situation.
So you about to bring out the facts of Cap right now?
Yeah, we're gonna bring it up.
Yeah, we're not coming to play with y'all today. For those of y'all that know about the structure that we have, we usually speak about some mainstream things, then we go into Facts of Cap, and then we have another one of our segments later on.
We gotta do
But
better.
the times call for more serious conversations
right now.
In this very instance, man. Because y'all thought we was off for 2 weeks, that we forgot about y'all. But nah, that's not the case, and we back like we never left, man. So definitely hit them with that Facts of Cap.
Right, and then definitely hit the like button, comment, subscribe,
Right, right,
man.
all that
Make sure
good
y'all
stuff,
do all
man,
that
for
good
sure.
stuff. But anyway, my Facts of Cap is this: facts or cap? Is white silence likened unto complicity? Facts of Cap.
Is white silence
Complicity.
to complicity in what? The
White supremacy.
in white supremacy? And so like just hit for those people that might not know what complicity is, just let them know.
Complicity means you're in agreement with something.
Like an accomplice.
You're an accomplice.
Okay.
So basically, I'm asking, is a white person in this time, considering all the things that have transpired over the last week or so, somebody, a white person, not saying anything on any of their social media platforms, does that as a black person speak complicity unto you? Facts or cap?
Finacto.
If you say facts, does that speak complicity in your? Yeah, but the posture, I'm gonna say yeah, facts. But the posture that I hold is the so-called Caucasian man, woman, and child is always moving with a posture of complicity in just whatever they do. Now, y'all might not be jacking that. Y'all might say, well, Brother Zamar, we have white allies. There's somebody I know that loves to say that. White allies, and we holding hands with them, and they're down for us and whatnot. I ain't jacking none of that. I'm not jacking none of that. So I feel like in everything that they do, in every capacity, way, shape, or form, they are moving as accomplices to further the agenda of Caucasian supremacy. This is what I feel. What do you say?
To add
So
to
that's
that,
fact. Okay, go ahead.
to add to that, you know, as far as the allies that, you know, they say we have when you see them marching with us, I kind of find it, you know, some might be genuine, but I don't think all of it is. You know what I mean? Because you have to understand that every organization has been infiltrated. You know what I mean? They need their spies everywhere. And that is a form of control because they have to control everything. So why not put people in to make it seem like they're for you?
Right.
It's the best way to get you.
Right.
Divide and conquer.
Exactly. That's been their MO ever since taking this land. Ever since taking us from where we're from.
Right.
So I just have to let people know. I mean, you have to study history and understand the war tactics of the Caucasian men. You know what I mean? So
That's right.
All right.
So what do you say?
I'm gonna say cap.
You're gonna say
And I'm gonna say the only reason
you
I'm
just
gonna
messed my head up. I'm like, what?
no, I'm
Go
gonna say
ahead.
cap. I'm gonna say cap, but I'm gonna preface it like this. The only reason I say cap is because the question is there silence complicity?
Yeah.
Now, in most cases, I will say yes, their silence is complicity. In most, probably 99.9%. Now, the only instance in which I'd say it isn't complicity is if you're doing more behind the scene in action than you'd be able to do by speaking publicly.
I'm not jacking it, but go ahead. Finish.
So basically, you may not go, like this person may or may not go to social media to speak on what's going on right now, but they're actually doing something behind the scenes. They have an actionable item that far outweighs their voice on a social media platform.
Yeah, so that they don't have to be vocal.
Yes.
So they could be funding a whole effort to do X, Y, Z,
Or
but they don't have to be speaking to it.
Or you're not saying anything. You're funding those who are on the front lines of what's in the best interest of our people.
Right, and see, I like the way you ended with that, with the best interest, because that's why I'm not jacking what you're saying about that. because when you look at the term white supremacy, it's them being above us, them in control of everything. So our best interest is us on top.
Of course.
And no Caucasian man, woman, or child, in truth, is going to sacrifice themselves for us in the manner that they need to for us to be on top. Because you've had many conversations, I'm sure, this brother as well, I can attest to it in our personal goings, that once it comes down to it, when you start hitting them with the lingo, okay, right? You and I was together at one time, and they said, well, we're paralegals, and we fight for the voices. But when it comes to us being on top, which is, I would venture to say, black, quote-unquote, black supremacy, they not really going to be there. Because how can you get us there? In order for us to get there, by way of their hand, they need to take themselves out. And that they're not going to be jacking that.
And you got to understand.
Now, most of them won't jack that. But you do have, this is not common, but every now and then you will run across a Caucasian that is willing to make a sacrifice in the name of someone else.
But will they sacrifice their family? Because out of every Caucasian family, there's a racist. I'm not hearing nothing.
Of course.
There'll be a family, and then they got that one white boy that listens to Eminem, and he jacked the culture. And they be like, And they're going off on them like, yo, why are you listening to this bullshit? Right. You understand what I'm saying?
But then you do have those families, white families, completely whole white family that is poor, and they end up in the projects with black people, and now you have
I hate that.
3 different generations that have grown up in the projects among black people. And you talk to some of them white people, you're not gonna know they white. They sound just like us.
But they great grandparents.
No, we know that. We know that. But we know that. But I'm saying a white person that grew up in that nature, they not gonna ride for a white boy. No, they don't even look at themselves as white boys. You feel me? They know they white boys, but they don't identify with that demographic of society.
Yo, listen,
they completely detached from that demographic.
If you're gonna ride for the cause and be on the front line, then he's useful.
If he's gonna ride for the cause and be on the front line,
and that goes into my point. That's that actionable item.
Exactly.
His actionable item of being out on the front line, where he may have to take some drama that one of us don't need to take. That's more valuable than him getting on social media and putting up a damn black tile.
Feel me? Oh my gosh, the black tiles. You say you want to?
Yeah, we could get into it. Like, I understand.
Did you see there was a sign that was photoshopped with a woman?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was Kendall. Was that Kendall Jenner?
And you had the sign up, and you could see the sign attached to her hands. But when you look at the shadow, you just see hands up.
Yo,
I'm looking at the shadow like.
That was hilarious.
So y'all couldn't Photoshop a shadow. So we're dumb out here.
Yo,
but surprisingly, you have some black people out there reposting that picture like, oh yeah, they're for us. But that's how gullible and simple our people are. Propaganda, you know what I mean?
Now I will
that
say,
was hilarious.
Now I will say, because what I've seen, since all of this mayhem and debauchery that's happened at my job, because really pretty much the president of our station made statements pretty much saying that, you know what, we as a public media station, we have to take a journalistic approach and we have to remain neutral and just report the story. Our goal is to report on the story, not to be in the story. And listen, we ended up having an inclusion diversity council probably 2 days after that town hall, and you had white folks on there that was very upset and was basically reading him his rights for that and saying, no, we can't stand in the middle because that's complicity. Like, we have to do something.
Yeah.
This is serious. So I'm not going to say that there are not white people that genuinely care about what's going on. It's not genuinely affecting them. Now, do I believe majority, most, 99.9% of white people, regardless if they care or not, they're not giving up their white supremacy, period.
But you're saying some are though.
No, I'm saying 99.9% are not willing, even if they care, they're not willing to give up white supremacy. And that's I guess that's really what's at the fabric of everything that we see is the white supremacy.
Because you got to understand that in order for our lives to matter, you have to knock down this system. This system that's made to keep them on a high pedestal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And in reality, I don't think most of them understand that once you do that, those privileges that you have won't be there anymore.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So it's real tricky, because when it comes down to it, are you ready as a Caucasian person to understand that this system will no longer look out for you once it's destroyed?
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
and they're not gonna be judging. I just go ahead.
Some of them. Because if you don't have no power, you're a low-level Caucasian in a society where you don't have any real influence. You do have your white supremacy just off the fact that you're white, but you're not really making any money. You're not no mover and shaker. A lot of the same sentiments that certain white people in power, in positions of advantage, like, I'm not talking about the regular white supremacy, the regular white privilege you get just off the strength of being white, but to be in a position of power where you actually affect people. You feel me? If you don't have any power, you don't have no power to give up. You don't care who's in charge. Because really what I believe a lot of white people wouldn't have an issue with us ruling and us leading. because they tired of seeing their own people do it because they're doing it the wrong way. I believe there is a demographic of white people that would not have an issue following us. This is me.
Yikes. I don't know. I mean, with the billion of people that exist on Earth, there's perhaps a demographic.
Yeah, you gotta be.
A demographic.
It's about the truth. Like
It's perhaps a demographic.
It's like 2 or 3.
But it's like 2 or 3. But I haven't. I mean, who am I? You know, I haven't seen anybody in the world, but I just haven't come across those particular individuals because I just feel like if we're talking supremacy, which is what the facts of Cap was, if we're talking supremacy, to counter that would mean black supremacy.
Yo,
you know, so it's like
exactly.
So
So I'm
that means-
saying, are you gonna be all the way for that?
Right.
But y'all acting like it's not white people that perpetuate the fact that we're Israel, we're God's chosen.
I mean, yeah.
They're beneath us, that they're gonna be, second-class citizens in the world to come.
Yeah.
That fully subscribe to that, so you
But
can't.
it's a thing. It's a difference between saying it and actually going through the motions of it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
because
what
that's
I'm
something new for them. That's a frontier that they've never touched. So you're not gonna know that their real reaction and how it's going to resonate with their spirit.
Right.
And another thing I wanted to say is that even when it comes to whether it's white males or white females that love sleeping with our people. I mean, I seen the post. This white chick was like, "Yo, listen, yeah, I'll take black dick. I'll suck a black dick. That don't mean I gotta speak on what they go through."
And that ought to be enough for black men to understand that you shouldn't even be dealing with the type of women.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that goes to a combo that I was actually having about this very thing, because a lot of times we confuse somebody being partial towards us as an individual as
they're messing with us as a collective.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Because it's white people that genuinely may like me as a person.
Right.
You genuinely like me as a person. You might genuinely even care for me. Like you wouldn't want to see something bad happen to me as a white person. I know there's white people like that.
Right.
But it's very rare that you meet someone who is a white person that is fully invested in the betterment of black people as a collective.
Exactly.
As a collective. That's talking about Raheem with his pants hanging off his ass.
Yeah. Not just the
not the one, not the token. That's tokenism. I'm not talking about tokenism because that exists.
All of us. Take all of us.
All of us, even him, because you got to understand the state that he's in is a result of stuff they did.
Right.
That's a fact.
You feel me?
Yeah, people brainwash.
Yeah.
And those who are really sincere understand that, like, even the ones you see rioting, looting, robbing, doing all of that, and when you want to demonize and condemn them like they doing something so wrong, really, I don't think they're doing nothing so wrong.
Of course,
personally.
Of course.
But aside from that, let's say that they were. If you really have the best interests of black people, you're going to consider that brother too. You're going to consider him in the mix too, not cast him away. Oh, he's just the nigga. I'm talking about the good ones.
Yeah.
No. All of us. Because we were all brought here as a collective.
Right.
And we were all made to toil. And we all built up this country. And we all suffered systemic racism as a result.
Right. And that's what I'm always harping on. So if anybody is watching this that's a Caucasian, or if any of y'all are watching this that have so-called Caucasian friends or loved ones or whatever, it's a system that we are in the midst of that continues to oppress us. So no one Caucasian, like how the brother was saying, that might like you can have the power to change what needs to be changed in order for us to now break the system, if you will. Because like we mentioned on the previous part, it's a system and it was designed for a specific reason, and that's what it fulfills. It's not broken. I hate when I see that on the post all the time. This system is broke. We gotta fix it.
No,
the system's
it's
not broken.
working.
It's operating exactly how it was designed.
Right. 100% is working to a T. It's perfect. It's well-oiled machine. What are you talking about? Right. So you gotta understand that it takes more than your Sarahs. It takes more than your. I ain't gonna say Sarah because that's like actually a name in the Bible. One of our foremothers. But Mackenzie, right? Helen. Those. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Karen. It takes more than that. Chad, Brad, Caucasian.
See, the thing is,
it takes more than that.
Just to add this is why I say people have to study history, because this system isn't new.
Yeah.
It's just remodeled.
It's an ancient system.
It's an ancient system of oppression. You have to understand that. When you
Right.
go into Egypt or Babylonian captivities or Assyrian, like this is a combination of all these captivities put together, well oiled and mastered.
And mastered.
They mastered it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? This is the most mastered slavery that they have come up with.
Right.
Because they give you the appearance, the illusion
That you're
of
free.
freedom.
Right, yeah, that
But
duplicity
you're
we talk
not.
about, right?
And that's what makes it even more crazy.
Right.
Now, I mean, is that there's people, there's our people out there that believe that they're really free.
Right.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? You're just, it's just like this, right? There was a study done on cows, right? They had certain cows that were confined with gates around them. I mean, they were in close confines, and they found out that the cows were stressed. They were dying quicker. Know what I mean? They weren't producing as much milk as they were supposed to. Know what I mean? And they had another study where they gave the cow, free room to roam, and seen that they were producing faster. Know what I mean? Birthing more cows at a quicker rate. We are in the same position. Know what I mean? We're in the same position. We could go down the block. Yeah, we could go to Miami and chill. Yeah, we could go to Puerto Rico and come back. But when you come back, you're still a slave.
Right.
You still got to put that work in.
Right.
And then you're gonna continue that cycle, give birth, and your kid is gonna do the same thing, thinking that they're free.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because you have this state of classism. So, although I am a proponent of classism, in that there should be these stratifications, a hierarchy, if you will, but the captivities that you spoke to of old and the one that we're in currently under the Caucasian man is done with oppression at the forefront. So it's almost like that rod of oppression that has always been wielded, which makes something like a caste system or like that classism or the hierarchy seem unappealing. But I'm for that because it needs to be structure and order. But we just need to be on top.
We always say
Exactly.
it,
Right.
with every kingdom there has to be a serving class and there has to be a ruling class.
Right.
You understand? And we here to let y'all know that we ain't gonna always be the serving class.
That's
And-
right.
And in fact, the tension that we see right now in this nation is a result of the fact that a lot of the powers that be know that their time as a ruling class is coming to an end.
Exactly.
And they know that we're gonna run it.
Exactly.
The chickens are coming home to roost.
Just like it happened in Egypt, man.
Ah!
They're putting out that decree that, you know what, time is almost up. We gotta start killing them.
Right.
That's what that is. Know what I mean? And that leads me to, we gotta do better. Know what I mean?
Hey, hold on,
Hey.
let's bring it in.
Gotta do better, so much better. Gotta do better.
Hey.
Yeah, man. So, we have to do better as a people to understand that true revolution is backing your people no matter what.
Right.
And we've been divided to the point that Caucasians have been pushing the movement for us. We have to be at the forefront of our own movement. And the reason why I say this is that is going to cut out all the middlemen and propaganda within the movement. Because now it's a bunch of separation. Now there's a bunch of confusion because it goes from police brutality to, why is looting happen? Oh, black on black crime. Oh, I mean, it's
And
just,
then you seen how they tried to even switch it to that transgender girl.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is what happens because you're putting a bunch of people in the movement that's not really for the movement. It's going to start going left. And
Everybody has different agendas.
you understand what I'm saying? Different agendas that they're going to push through that movement to shift it. That's why I said it's better for us to be at the forefront so we could keep that momentum. Because now, after a while, when you have other people pushing it,
It gets diluted.
It's diluted now. It's like Kool-Aid. Know what I mean? With 14 gallons of water in it. With one pack.
With one pack.
It's not Kool-Aid no more.
Pack in it.
You know what I mean? It's not
That's
Kool-Aid no
funny.
more.
That's funny.
So, I mean...
the main agenda is no longer followed through on.
Exactly.
It gets lost.
Exactly.
Right,
And then
lost.
one thing that was getting me real upset is that you have to understand, right? Our people are going crazy. Oh, why are people looting? Why are people burning this? Listen, as a people, we were looted.
Word.
Right.
You were looted as a
There's
person.
nothing worse than being a person
That
being
was
looted.
Right.
So forget all these Targets and Saks Fifth and Soho. Listen,
Yes.
that is minuscule to what happened to us.
Word.
They burnt a store. They actually burnt our people in public
Right.
for fun. And y'all being coons, going against your people, talking about, oh, y'all bums for going looting. Nah, destroy this shit.
Right.
Really?
Now,
listen.
I want to throw this in there, just to the point of looting. Now, I will say, brothers and sisters should be cognitive of black-owned businesses.
Yeah. Stay away from black-owned businesses, of course.
Don't loot your own.
Don't
business.
loot your own. Go to where all the white people are at. Loot their shit. Don't do it in your own community where there's a poor black man trying to get up there just
Right.
like you.
Just like you.
That I definitely agree.
Right, and that's why I kind of understood. Y'all seen the conflict with those brothers from Dykeman, those Hispanic brothers from Dykeman and black brothers in
Yeah,
Harlem.
and I understand that, but they
Let's
should
give
have
them
worded.
backdrop though. Let's give them backdrop.
They should have
though.
worded their thoughts differently. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give y'all a backdrop. There was an issue, pretty much where it was some young black brothers that were ran off the block in Dykeman, which is uptown New York City. They were ran out of the area by a mob of Dominicans.
And so, just for people that don't know about Dykeman, who is the predominant demographic that lives there?
It's a dominantly Dominican neighborhood.
Right.
And I venture to say it's probably the largest Dominican neighborhood.
I
in New
venture
York
to
City.
say the same thing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I was the only
Dykeman in the Heights.
Yeah, in the Heights, yeah. And then in Brooklyn, probably Sunset Park got a lot of Hispanics too. But
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, most
Okay.
definitely. But yeah. So anyway, the brothers, it's a common thing for black people to be in Dykeman. Dykeman traditionally has a basketball tournament that goes on there.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's there every summer. So that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, we're always there. It's a lot of money that comes into Dykeman at the hands of so-called black people.
Right.
Although we consider them black too.
Right.
So
Because y'all are people as well.
Absolutely.
Don't get that twisted.
Facts.
the ones of y'all that ain't Spaniard out.
Yeah. Ones that have
Some of y'all
indigenous-
little
indigenous
Spaniard,
descent.
little blonde hair, blue eyes, speaking Spanish, you not my people. I'm just gonna
Right.
tell you.
Just because you speak Spanish doesn't make you a Hispanic of indigenous descent. You know what I mean? Because that's not your language to begin with, right?
Right. And I'm just joking, I'm just jesting, because I understand that you can't really tell if someone is an Afro-Latino or not just based on appearance.
Right.
You can't tell. You can't really tell.
It
But
goes by
anyway.
bloodline.
It goes
But
by
I ain't
blood.
gonna front through the spirit. Man.
Yeah, some of you
Yeah,
can tell.
that's perfect.
I ain't gonna hold you. A lot of times you can just peek. You could tell, like you meet a Latino brother. You could tell what type of vibe, what his vibe is. Now, you look at the features. I ain't gonna say you do look at the features. If he has Eurocentric features, then you got that spirit of a white man where you damn near moreno, morenito. You trying to get me away from you.
Right.
We know those vibes. But anyway, so long story short, there was an altercation where a young man was ran out of the neighborhood. This was then shared on Twitter. It ended up going viral on Twitter. And, you had a lot of young brothers from Harlem that was ready to go set it off in Dykeman. But cooler heads prevailed. And, some of the older brothers in the Dykeman community and older brothers from other black communities around New York City came together and they unified the people. And they were able to quell the situation, which I think was very twofold, because it showed us the power in numbers and standing together. Because there was a lot of people that was standing together, like, no, we're not gonna have this out of Dykeman.
Yeah.
We're gonna go wild Dykeman up, and that produced some change. So I saw that. That was one thing that I saw, and then I also saw how the brothers that are influential in black and Hispanic communities need to come together, because you have a lot of control. It wasn't no police that got involved in that. It was just brothers who had a certain level of respect within their community
The OGs, the
was
elders.
able to come together and come to an agreement. That can happen in every neighborhood.
That's a fact.
It just takes having a spokesperson for each demographic within our neighborhoods to be able to represent that particular voice on a larger scale for those people, and we can come together and make some real change.
But who can the spokesperson be though? Is it a spokesperson
It's a point.
that is running for office?
No.
Are they on the local level representative that wears
Nah.
a suit and tie?
No. We talking about, when I say a local representative,
Brothers
it needs
in
to
the
be
field.
it needs to be someone who's appointed from within that demographic. Like, now you're gonna be our spokesman.
Right.
You feel me? That's the best way to do it. We've appointed him to speak for us, and that's what you saw in Dayton. They appointed the brothers that came and spoke for their neighborhood.
But what I mean is that these brothers who were appointed, because I mean, you know, you can have somebody who's appointed and somebody who's elected, right? But they kind of are interchangeable. But the background or the history, like how is that brother? How does he have influence in the neighborhood to be appointed in the first place?
He's in the field.
He's in the field.
Oh, that's right. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
Make
in
sure
the
brothers and
actually-
sisters
That's
understand
really
that.
a qualification.
He's in the field.
Yeah.
That's a qualification. That's something that you really can put on a
He
resume.
grew up there.
Yeah.
He went through the fights. You know what I mean?
Right, people know him,
People
when they
know
see
him.
him.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? He has
Right,
a certain
right.
respect level
Right.
for the elders there as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that all plays a part in being a spokesperson in the neighborhood. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Right. And then that individual needs to have at least some level of moral compass
Absolutely.
of
Some
righteousness.
wisdom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta have some
Yeah.
wisdom to be able to articulate what
Yeah.
needs to be followed and what direction we need to go in. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. Well, I look at it like this. It needs to be the best of that demographic.
Right.
If it's a gang, you need the most articulate gangster out of your gang who's going to really be able to see the bigger picture
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and really be able to think for the collective. Not some Negro that's going to go up there and just think for himself.
Exactly.
You need someone who has clairvoyance for the collective.
And so why is that important though? Why does somebody that is appointed from these different sections and regions in the hoods need to be able to see the macro? Why? Why do they need to see the macro?
Because this is basically a format on how we're supposed to move as a collective anyway. You know what I mean? So we could grow and prosper. Because you got to understand, we all need each other. It's an ecosystem.
Now,
you know what I mean?
to the point that Zamar was just asking, he said, why is it important for him to have clairvoyance? Because clairvoyance is being able to see the whole chessboard. A lot of times you get sidetracked. For example, let's say I'm a big homie, and one of the little homies up under me ends up getting killed, and now I'm thinking, I'm about to send somebody out to retaliate. Okay, being able to see the whole chessboard is being able to think moves ahead, knowing what the next move, after you make your next move, knowing the next 3 moves that your opponent's gonna make.
Yeah.
That's being able to see the whole chessboard. You feel me? All beef ain't good beef.
Right.
You feel me? All wars ain't good wars. Some wars are dumb if they cost you more in the long run. For example, you know, we see the ongoing battles between certain men in Brooklyn, certain gangs and cliques in Brooklyn, how
Right.
they constantly, you gotta look at
Organizations.
these organizations. When you look at it, if someone influential within any one of these organizations, you just take a step back and look at the whole chessboard. Because you got talent on each side of the chessboard from both sides. You got talented brothers with the potential to make a lot of money.
And if they come together, imagine how much money they could generate to change.
But even if they
neighborhoods.
don't come together, you don't have to come together. That's the whole thing. We don't have to be best friends. We don't have to hold hands and kumbaya. No.
but
Just to
see,
let it be peace. Where you can go outside and get your money, I can go outside and
I
get
like
my
how
money.
you said that
Yeah.
because guess what? When you look at how the Italian mobs formulated their organizations, these families didn't get along.
Right.
These families, they were killing each other like crazy until they sat down.
At the same table.
Every boss from each family that they appointed, like
Yeah.
we were speaking about, really came together and said, okay, let's find out how we can make money together and keep peace. Anything goes down between, they gotta come see us to get permission to even retaliate on somebody.
So that's how it used to be. Like when back
what I mean?
in the 90s, in the 80s, and before. That's how
you gotta
it
get
was.
permission.
You couldn't just be out here freelancing doing whatever you want to do.
Or you getting green lighted. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the same type of timing that we need to be on as a people.
But that goes back to what Zamar was saying about being able to see the whole chessboard. Because a nigga who can't see the whole chessboard will get in that meeting and all he's gonna be able to think about is, oh, y'all done killed this many of my dead homies.
Right.
But you done killed this many of they dead homies.
And it's the same thing with the mob. If they could put that aside,
you gotta be able to.
And they built New York, really. You gotta understand, the mob was basically responsible for giving the government lots of bread. They owned the docks. They rised up the food chain because of them coming together. You know what I mean? And you have to understand, these are blueprints that our ancestors gave all these nations.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are blueprints that they got from us in the first place because we were a holy people. And not that shining with a light behind you. Holy means separate.
Right. You just being separate.
We were separate.
Yeah.
We moved different. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like as a people we need to come back. We need to come back to how we moved with organization,
right,
and respect,
and with organization and respect, you need to have a semblance of order, right? Like so, that brother was talking about having a meeting at the table, so that is indicative of having a council, if you will. You know what I mean? Being able to have brothers who are appointed to sit in this council. You bring the grievances. A matter is then judged upon. Right? This sounds like the Bible. This is what it sounds like because this is what we had, that structure and that order. That's why we need to come back in righteousness because it allows you to look at things objectively and not subjectively, because as soon as you look at it subjectively, now your feelings are involved.
And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem in the black community. Black men make too many decisions in our community based off of how they feel.
Yeah.
Right.
You cannot make decisions based on emotion.
Right.
Because it'll end up costing you time, money, and sometimes it costs you your life.
Your life.
You cannot make, you have to be able to look at the bigger picture, and that goes back to what you were saying.
Right.
You got to be able to see the whole chessboard so you can think, okay, I want to make the best decision that's going to be most beneficial to as many people as I can have it be.
Right. And then and why also is it important? It's important to have that mentality, and I think just to harp on an incredible point that you made, which is to have that person have the influence in that community, because if they do not, you're gonna have something like Black Lives Matter. That's what it's gonna end up being. It's gonna end up being a Black Lives Matter movement because the things that you need in order for those changes to be made are not being made because it's like, oh, here, come with us. Oh, come over here, come with us. And then the agendas become skewed. And then you're not be able to see the things that need to be effectively augmented, effectively changed.
And then on top of that, our people need to do better with finding out how these organizations get started. Because because it's not even backed by black people.
Yeah, a lot of, if not all of them. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
I thought you were
really
talking
not.
about art.
As far as money wise, and it's not backed by us.
You made me think of something else. So when you said our organizations, a lot of our people need to understand why organizations started. I encourage any brother who call himself a so-called gangster and he claiming this gang or that gang, go look at what that gang really stood for.
Yeah.
Go look at where the origins of that gang is. A lot of brothers have no idea.
Exactly.
What these
'Cause
gangs
these are the
came from.
gangs that these are supposed to be our organizations. We don't need a Black Lives Matter if we got Crips, Bloods, and GDs out here.
Right.
That's what those were made for.
Right.
They were made to police the community and make sure that we're good and stop oppression. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't need a Black Lives Matter if these gangs come together.
And they could come together because, see, my thing is this. We spend so much time harboring on unforgiveness among one another, but we've been getting spit on, kicked, stepped on, all kind of stuff for decades by these people, and we continue to forgive them. Why can't you forgive your brother?
And that's the problem.
Why you can't forgive your brother? Why you can't let it go? Because all this continual beef, and then it's a whole bunch of people who have nothing to do with situations picking up beef.
Yeah.
You inheriting beef. So you really have nothing to do with the original beef. You just being a follower.
Right.
Right now, there are enough influential, strong, intelligent black brothers that we could really mobilize. You feel me? We could really sturdy up, as they say.
Yeah.
But brothers is too fixated on bullshit.
That you gotta have wisdom. You gotta have wisdom, man. Because wisdom is gonna be able to see through that and sift through the BS, like how you said. And just as the brother, is about to cue up them scripts. Stop saying Black Lives Matter. I just kill all that noise in the first place, because I feel like when you say Black Lives Matter,
who you trying to convince?
You're trying to convince someone. You know what I'm saying? Like by saying it, Black Lives Matter. I don't care if a Caucasian man, an Arab man, a Chinese man care about my life or not. I already know that they don't. So this whole Black Lives Matter initiative and keep screaming it, and you got 1,000 hashtags. I put the hashtag because I want people to be able to see what it is that I'm posting, to speak against them believing that our lives don't matter. But all we need to do is know that our lives matter.
Exactly.
And that has given us the life
and that
to
you're
begin
not
with.
black to begin with anyway.
And let me say this. Black lives matter to who?
Yeah.
Who do they matter to? We saying Black Lives Matter. Who do they matter to? We need to make sure they matter to us.
Yeah.
I see too many of our own people taking our own lives.
Yeah.
Not that it's about that, because I know a lot of people try to turn it into that. No, it's not about that. But I'm just saying, if we value black life and everybody's screaming Black Lives Matter, then let's make it matter when next time you think about spinning on your brother.
Yeah.
Start something.
Let Black Lives Matter then.
Right.
Let Black Lives Matter when you're thinking about going and killing your unborn son.
Exactly.
Let Black Lives Matter then.
Right.
You feel me? You
Yeah.
can't pick and choose when Black Lives matter.
Exactly.
Either they matter or they don't.
And it can't just be, oh, they matter when it's a carnal thing. Like, if now one of our brothers and sisters is put to death, now Black Lives Matter. But you got to be able to look at it spiritually, that if you are being petty or like you've been hating on one of your brothers and sisters, you murdering them in the eyes of the Most High, which is what should matter to you most. So in that case, like how you saying, you don't think about Black lives then. You know what I mean? You out here, you lying to one of your brothers or sisters. That black life didn't matter to you because you just conjure up a whole lie. So you got to be able to put aside the carnality of how you move and think and come over to the thoughts of righteousness and wisdom, because that's the only thing that's going to give us stability in this time.
That's a fact.
So to the point of, what's going on in the world today,
bring it out.
All of this is prophesied.
That's a fact.
And we're just sitting back watching everything unfold. That's why, when I see all these things happening, when me and the brother see these things, we're just like, oh, just prophecy.
Yeah, I think
we're just sitting back. We're just sitting back and just watching, because it's real clear to us what's happening, and even Caucasians know what's happening because they're even bringing up scriptures. They know who we are. They understand that these things must come to pass. But as a people, we're still dumbed down and we don't get it. We just don't get it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring out some scripts, and Brother Zion is going to break it down for y'all so y'all could truly understand what's really going on in this world today, because it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, especially if your spirit isn't upright.
That's
you know what I mean?
And brothers been bringing this out since the late and early 60s. These prophecies ain't nothing new. But y'all brothers and sisters can only realize it when the so-called shit hit the fan. Now, you know how many people that hit me up? Yo, bro. Yo, bro. What is it say this in the Bible? Y'all been telling you this. Been telling you this.
They gotta believe.
Now all of a sudden,
now you want to believe it.
Yeah, now you want to believe it. So that's a part about
the
having that faith.
People. You gotta have faith. They want to see it to believe it.
And what people always talking about, like, oh, what makes you think that your Bible is better than the Quran or the Book of Mormon?
Right here.
It's the prophecies.
It's the prophecies.
We've been telling you this. It's the prophecies. So listen to the prophecies.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll tell
so
you.
we're gonna bring it out.
And you tell us if this sounds like what's going on.
Right. Oh, maybe we just bugging now. We bugging. We out here bugging out.
So I'm gonna bring it out for y'all.
Where you starting at? Second Ezra?
Second Ezra 15:15.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. No, matter of fact, 14, just to give them a little. You know what I mean? So this is Second Ezra 15 and 14.
Read out.
Woe to the world, and then
Woe.
that.
Woe.
So
we're gonna stop with that. Woe to the world. Woe is a word that a lot of people ain't using every day, but woe just means destruction. Destruction to the world.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Meaning, it's some tribulation that is coming close.
And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
And what?
And one people shall stand up to fight against another.
That's exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You see it on multiple levels. Mm-hmm. You see us, even in the instance I gave about us fighting against the Dominicans in Dykeman. You see us fighting against white people.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Even if you look at it on a world landscape, we fighting against other countries right now. Continue.
But it's gonna get even worse than that, to where it's like you're gonna literally be walking out of the street and it's gonna be that upheaval and that uprising. You know what I mean? Right now, this is just, as I like to say, in the embryo stages right now.
Oh yeah, of course.
This is quiet before the storm.
Beginning of birth pains, right?
Yeah, there you go, brother. Using biblical terminology. You supposed to read the Bible. You read the Bible, brother.
Okay. And swords in their hands.
And swords. Now, swords. When the Bible speaks about swords, that's just just a symbolization for weaponry. So the modern sword is talking about guns.
Exactly. For there shall be sedition among men.
There shall be sedition. Now I'm gonna get this brother to pull up the word sedition.
Break it down.
There shall be sedition.
That's the word of the day, right?
That is the word of the day. Let's make it the word of the day.
This is the word of the day. Sedition.
Sedition.
There shall be. There shall be. Now it hadn't happened when this was prophesied, but it said there shall be sedition. So let's look at what sedition is.
So we have sedition, incitement of discontent or rebellion against a government.
That's it. Literally,
That's what we're in.
That's literally what's right. That's literally what's going on right now.
That's what we're in right now.
Let me read the second part. Hold on. Any action, especially in speech or writing, I don't know, maybe a protest, promoting such discontent or rebellion.
That's literally what's going on right now.
That's what happened right now. In all 50 states at that.
Never has
never happened in history.
Right.
That has never happened in history.
Right.
All 50 states, even you got it on London.
Yeah. It's international as well.
Parts of I don't like to call it Middle East, but you know what I mean. It's Africa, which you know that's what they call it.
Yeah,
but it's going on everywhere, and they're all fighting for our people at this point because they know who we are. You understand?
You just don't know who you are, who we are, and that's why you tune into the Breadfellas Podcast.
Okay, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Meaning, it's not all your leaders, your politicians, all of that is it's gonna come a time where it's gonna be out of the window.
Exactly. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Because I ain't gonna hold you to that point right there. I mean, there's some brothers and sisters, shout out to these brothers and sisters, who's jumping authorities. Finding them and putting hands on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta understand, we talking about George Floyd specifically, that brother's neck was knelt upon, and the dude that was kneeling upon his neck was chilling. Not even trying to, he wasn't even
trying to move.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't agitated at all. He was chilling. He probably could have even yawned or something like that. He could have ate popcorn if he wanted to because of how relaxed he was. So brothers and sisters, some of them are fed up right now, and I've been seeing a whole bunch of viral videos going on where they catching officers and they laying hands on them.
And listen, I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not a proponent of brothers going out here indiscriminately attacking people. But if a police officer approaches you with force, life-threatening force, you defend your life and do whatever it is you need to do to protect yourself.
That's a fact.
And each other. I feel like I see.
Stop watching your people die.
Yeah, I see it like it's twofold. Like
Throw a rock or something.
I feel like the video has to exist so that people know. But how long are you gonna videotape for? You know what I'm saying? If you want to videotape, all right, so you can get it on video. But then you can't just allow certain things to continue. You gotta tackle that officer, like how you said, maybe throw a rock or do something. You can't just stand there and watch the literal life be sucked away, the soul left from one of your brethren.
Or sister.
Or your sister as well. Exactly. But you love your people and all black and Black Lives Matter?
Come on. All right. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
What does that sound like?
That's what's going on now.
Quarantine.
When you quarantine, you can't leave your city. We're on the brink of all of these things that we're reading right here. This is why we know that this is real. This is how we know this is valid. Because what other book out here, y'all tell me, What other book y'all got that has prophecy in it?
Oh, the Book of the Dead.
There's no prophecy.
The 42 Confessions of Mayat.
There's no prophecy in it.
Right. You Egyptologists and all of these people that jack Herodianism and all this stuff, like,
I don't get it.
none of that has what the Bible has. It just doesn't.
So we're gonna jump to 2nd Ezra 16 and 68.
Give them more.
And it gets realer.
Yeah. Listen, we don't normally go into all these scriptures. We usually give a little spoonful.
But today
we're gonna give you some prophecy.
Today it calls for it. Because y'all brothers and sisters, man, I don't know how y'all feel about this podcast. Actually, some of them just continue to slander us. But a lot of our brothers and sisters also jack it as well.
Who slandered us?
They might be watching it right now. They might be watching it right now.
All right.
And there's those people that also comment on us, but it's all good. But what I'm saying is, they might not know why we have this podcast in the first place. And it's really, as we say at the top of the podcast, potting with a purpose. And the purpose is to, in some way, shape, or form, in any way that we can be some sort of beacon of light for our brothers and sisters by way of the spirit of these scriptures that we read, so that they can understand what is necessary in righteousness for us to be better as a people.
Yes, men don't love y'all, man.
Right.
Letting y'all know. So this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 68.
Now I'm gonna keep in mind. I want y'all to know that we're reading 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras is a book that's now part of the KJVA, meaning the King James version of the Bible with the Apocrypha, or the 1611 King James version. Okay. Most Bibles nowadays don't have these particular verses in it because this particular part of the Bible was taken out after the 16th century.
Secret scriptures, man. Stuff they don't want you to know.
So really, it behoove anybody watching this, get you an Apocrypha. You ain't gonna be able to see the full picture without one.
Right.
Get one.
So it says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over
the burning wrath of a great multitude." That's what we're seeing outside. The burning wrath of a great multitude. Continue.
And they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision, and in reproach, and trodden underfoot.
Right.
So they that are taken away and are going to be going through all these different things, they're going to be reproached. They're going to be reproached, and those that consent to us, meaning those who are part of our cause, you're going to be a reproach. Look at all the people that are making a conscious decision to stand with us right now. It's going to come with a level of reproach. So anybody who's not a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native that's watching this right now, understand that if you're going to stand with us, it's going to come with something. It's going to cost you something. And we're not asking you to stand with us.
I'm definitely not asking you to stand with us.
But if you are going to stand with us, because we understand.
Sit down over there. I don't even want you to stand with me, but go ahead.
But if you are going to stand with us, understand that this ain't going to be a walk in the park. And you have to have a mind that you want to come in and serve. You're not leading anything.
You're not leading anything. I don't care about your money, really, about it. I want your
No,
life.
I do care about
I
your
want
money.
your life to be on the line. But the reason why I say I want your money.
Send the bread.
But what I'm saying is, sometimes those particular so-called allies might feel like their wallet is doing enough. So, but I want your body. I want your body to be the sacrifice that you give. You know how anybody that plays chess, in that first row, there's something called pawns. You need to be a pawn. You need to be a pawn and to be okay being used as a pawn. Like how the brothers say, you're not gonna be led. You're not gonna be leading anything. You're gonna be led, and you got to be okay with being led, because it might be led to your death.
Okay, so for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
A great uprising. It's going to be a great uprising among those that fear the Lord. And you're starting to see that now. Well, no, you've been seeing it. With these Israelites, y'all think they bugged out. They randomly popped out of nowhere. You see them on every corner in every city. You see them all over. These brothers, you see them with these fringes hanging off the bottom of their clothes saying, "We the people of the Most High." You think that just happened by coincidence? You think this is just some new trend or some new fad? Understand how it's taking over the whole nation. Kendrick talked about us being Israelites on his last album. Very explicitly. You think this is all by coincidence? No. The Most High is allowing this information to be pushed out there, so you ain't gonna be able to say you didn't know.
Fact, and that's what, and that's written. Because a lot of people can be like, well, I didn't know I was an Israelite. Nah, you walked past brothers and was like...
And you didn't try to figure it out.
Looking like
Even if you didn't believe me.
Right, you had jokes.
Even if you don't believe us, because you don't have to believe us. Do your own research.
Right.
If you've never done any research and you choosing to be ignorant, that's going to be on you.
And those be the people that be clowning too, and that's why the scripture is powerful when it says that we've been held in derision, because that's going to be looked upon as someone that is worthy of being joked on. You know what I mean? Look at you, like how you say, oh, bro, you got Power Ranger outfit on.
Power Ranger with that on, yeah.
Oh, but you calling that same Power Ranger looking brother right now, asking him, yo, break down the prophecies to me, Ak. You want to start using Ak and Shalom, brother. This is what I want to say.
It's that Wisdom of Solomon 5 spirit. You feel me? They're gonna be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation.
Right. Like them? It's them?
Yeah.
Wait, this is them?
Yeah.
Right.
No, we trying to lace y'all up that we are ending the end of this thing. Not the end of the planet Earth being in existence, but the end of this world.
This world.
Meaning the way things go, that's not gonna happen. How things were before we got in this whole quarantine situation, things will never go back to how they were before this.
Definitely not.
They're not going back to that. So if that's what you're expecting, you need to fix your frame of thought.
Right.
Right now is not the time to be thinking about your next trip you're gonna be taking and all of these things you don't know what's gonna happen right now. We don't know what's gonna happen. Right now, it's time to be present and conscious in the present and making sure you're ready and prepared in the present.
Right. That means yourself, your family.
Yes.
You know what I mean, and try to understand that you can't save everybody. That's what we were saying in the group chat. You know what I mean? You can't save everybody. You got to be able to save those who are closest to you and that you know also going to be rocking with you.
Those who going to rock, because I'm going to tell you straight, listen, the type of time that I'm on, I'm willing to give my life for any brother who's around me. Don't be around me if you ain't willing to do the same for me.
Because what does it say? What does it say in the scriptures about
the brother that lays his life down?
Right, the greatest thing that you can do for a friend is to lay down your life for them.
Yes.
That's literally the greatest thing you can do. Like, wow, that brother jumped in front of that bullet for me. Imagine the life that you now lead after when you know that somebody gave them their life for you.
You got
to live a different life.
In that instant, they made a conscious decision to put themselves in harm's way and you out of it. That's powerful.
That's different. Okay. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall
And that's
waste.
what we see right now. We're seeing these madmen. These madmen come in different forms. They come in the form of judges.
Police.
They come in police officers. They come in KKK. These are the madmen that he's talking about. That are not sparing any. They don't care. They'll kill a 13-year-old boy in cold blood with no gun and don't care.
Right, he's just standing there.
They have no regard for our young and old. That's what it's going into.
And then again, it's going to get even more churned up because then the madmen are also going to move from just those in the sort of elitist position to regular civilian.
Exactly.
Todd walking around in the street and he just feels like he wants to now pick up arms and just shoot whoever just because he had to do it.
Didn't that happen with Aubrey?
Yeah.
You understand?
Even though he said more things about that, like had more things that came out about that he was actually it was organized. It wasn't just somebody that looks like the perpetrator. You know, that was kind of the story initially, but they were saying a little bit more. I saw that.
Okay.
Whatever the case, man. Listen, don't be letting these white people stop you and tell you what you can and can't do.
Yeah, get out my face.
And
I'm straight snuffing you. You're not even police. I'm ducking you in your face.
You're not right, police.
I'll poke you up and be out.
And right now, we can't you can't keep letting these crackers get the drop on us early either. You see a militia group with a bunch of guns, start thumping.
One time.
Don't wait on them to start doing. Nah, we gotta stop waiting on them to do stuff.
Exactly.
No, I feared for my life because y'all keep killing us.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna protect my life. I ain't gonna give you a chance to kill me. I'm gonna kill you first.
Exactly.
That's how you gotta come into it now.
Look at that brother that just got off for killing the cops that ran in his crib. He got off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta stop being scared.
Because they know that they're wrong.
Just be a man, Jay. Be a man.
Dog eat dog.
So now, hold on. So now, what do you say? Because you already know there's gonna be brothers and sisters that's gonna watch this and be like, "Nah, man, that's all BS, man." What y'all talking about, though? How can we rise up against them?
Yo, listen, I'm not gonna hold you. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you're a man and somebody's about to take your life, I don't care who they are, and you let them take it, then you might as well not have a life.
Right, you deserve to lose.
You deserve to lose it.
Because you didn't value your own life.
I don't care. I'm not going out without a fight. Like you gotta go. Like
you gotta stop going out without a fight. And if you are under a police officer and they choking you to death, fight.
Right.
Exactly. Because part of the, and I know this is unpopular. But it was partly.
This is unpopular.
It was part of the reason. It was partly George Floyd's fault he lost his life. You sit there and let the nigga sit on your neck until you know you can't breathe, and you don't try to fight him off of you.
Nah, but he was cuffed. He was handcuffed. That's tough. He was handcuffed and people on your body. That's tough.
I'ma still try.
No, the dude who was filming, that brother needed to do something. He was just standing there.
Now, I've been in cuffs, and you can still move around in cuffs. You can still move.
But it was more than just one, though. I'm not going to say he should have just been doing X, Y, Z. I'm putting the blame and the onus on the brother and those who were just walking past.
I put it on them too, but also at the same time, if your life is being taken, you gotta fight.
Yo, you gotta be on something. You gotta be on something.
Right, ferocious.
Mike Tyson.
You gotta do whatever you can. You gotta
something.
resist until the death. Like, yo, I cannot breathe.
Yeah.
Not saying get off me. I can't breathe. No.
They're not gonna care.
No, you gotta fight to the death. Because if you already dying, you might as well fight to the death.
You might as well.
You ain't even fight for your life.
Okay, so for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
So it's letting you know right there that the children of the Most High God
are gonna go through it.
You're gonna go through
the shit.
We're gonna go through the fire out there.
Who are the children of the Most High God? Because there might be some people right here. I'm a child of God. I believe.
No, everybody ain't a child of God.
The
children of the Most High God are the Israelites.
That's right.
That's so-called Black, Hispanics, and natives of Indian and Negroid descent.
Only. Okay. And then to verify that, we're gonna go into Isaiah 14 real quick, man.
We're gonna go into Isaiah 14.
Isaiah 14.
We're giving you prophecy. We're letting you know what's to come.
Right.
What we're waiting on. So right now, thus far, what we have is we're gonna go through a lot of turmoil. It's gonna be riots. It's gonna be protests. It's gonna be killing. It's gonna be a lot of destruction. It's gonna be people getting ran down on, getting their houses looted, getting put out of their houses.
That's right.
You gonna go through all hell, and then it's when you start going through this hell and it's just on you. So it's like, yo, why is the fire just on us? Because we're the children of God. He said, then it shall be known who his children are.
Exactly.
It's gonna be
we're
known.
the only people going through it. You think
people are so confused. Like, why is it just happening to Negroes?
Yeah.
Or why is it just happening to the Blacks and Hispanics in America? Why is that just happening to them? Because we are the children of God. And a lot of people are coming to the realization that things are happening to us that don't happen to nobody else because God is going to prove a point through us.
Exactly.
Right.
He's going to prove his final point through us.
And so for all y'all that talking about, I'm tired of this.
Part of that.
I'm tired of seeing that. You're not tired. You're not tired.
If you was,
if you really were tired, then you would come into this Bible because we've been telling you about it. To get your life right, start treating yourself better through the love of the scriptures and your fellow man. And in terms of your kindred. Like of your people.
So this right here is Isaiah 14. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
So after this, my fault. Before you break that down, before you continue on the script, why does prophecy matter here for all those that might consider themselves Bible thumpers and that be in church on every Sunday and all that, and you listen to your pastor and all that? You're not going to hear these prophecies.
You're not.
You're not going to hear these prophecies, but you believe in Jesus. You believe in Jesus. The scripture in Revelation 19 tell you that Christ is the spirit of prophecy. So if you care to be calling yourself a believer in Christ and a follower of Christ, then you should care about prophecy. But why your pastor not going to go into Isaiah 14? He's not going to go into anything in Esdras or Daniel. He might talk about
a little bit. Sure ain't gonna touch Revelation.
He might.
Even gonna look
if
at
he
Revelation.
does, he gonna butcher it. He gonna butcher Revelation, but they might touch on, y'all see what's happening outside now. They might see something like that, but they're not going to link it with you being the chosen child of God. They're not going to link it to that. And then you, to stop all the madness that's going on, and the cops beating in your brains to the white meat, you need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and to your heritage. They're not going to tell you that.
And I'm going to tell you, the reason why a lot of Negroes are scared to fight against the police, it dawned on me, is because they are not in the right standing with the Most High God, where they don't feel like if they actually fight against their oppressor, that God will fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're fearful, because God don't give you a spirit of fear.
Mm-hmm.
When you in good standing with him, you can stand bold as a lion.
That's a fact.
Because you know he's going to defend you.
That's a
Right,
fact.
right. It's that faith you have. You have that faith.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you get back, when we collectively get back on the right timing, then we will have the courage as a collective to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But a lot of our people don't have no courage because a lot of them are scared to die. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Or are too clouded in hatred for their own people to fight anybody who don't look like them.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So it says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel."
so when it's after we go through all this tribulation and it's been riots and wars and the earth has finally been subdued by the people of God, God is still at the very end of the day going to choose his chosen people.
Only,
Right.
Us.
only,
Right.
The so-called
Only.
blacks, Hispanics, and natives.
only,
That's who he's going to choose at the end of the day. After it's all said and done, that's who he's choosing.
Right.
Continue.
and set them in their own land.
We have to be set in our own land because we're the only people who've never had our own land.
Facts.
So he's letting us know that he is going to then sit us in our own allotment of land. Continue.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
But hold on, where is that land? Because some people might be watching this, it might be for the red, black, and green, and they might say, oh, well, that's in Ghana, or in maybe the Ivory Coast, or something like that.
Well, we can give it to him. What we believe the chosen land to be Israel, the land of milk and honey, on the in the first the Fertile Crescent.
Right.
That's our land. That's
Right,
the
right.
land of milk and honey.
Which is still a part of Africa. It's still in Africa.
We're still in Africa. So he's going to give us our own land, and strangers are going to be joined with us. So it's letting us know there are going to be people from other ethnicities and other nationalities that are going to also be joined with us. But we're going to see how they're going to be joined with us. Continue.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a lot of so-called white people cleave to us because they see what's going on with us. That's going to continue to happen.
Exactly.
So brothers have to get out of the notion, no, these heathens can't cleave. No, they're supposed to.
Yeah, they gotta.
The scripture
it's
says
written.
that men out of every nation, 7 men out of every nation, roughly paraphrasing, shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew and say, we will go with you because we have heard God is with you.
Yeah, because you're going to be our pawns, just like Zamar said. You're going to be in the forefront riding for us, okay?
Right.
That's
This
what
is
that
important.
is.
And why you're gonna be riding for us in the way that we need you to as a pawn is gonna say.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Uh-huh.
And the house of Israel shall possess them.
Shall what?
Shall possess
The
them.
house of Israel shall possess the strangers.
Right.
Uh-huh, for what?
And the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Uh-huh.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
And they shall what?
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
So it's letting you know, just like we were their captives, we're going to then take them captive. Uh-huh.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Meaning we're going to rule over the very people that oppressed us
Listen,
in this society.
This is like 2 plus 2. If you don't get this,
Come
then
on.
listen, I don't know what else.
It's right in front of your face.
I don't know what else to tell y'all.
This is not our private oh, that's just the way you understand it or your
No, that's literally what
interpretation.
it's
That
saying.
was
That's
straightforward.
literally what it's saying.
That
Right
was straightforward.
This
Come
is
on.
2 plus 2. You know
Come
what I
on.
mean?
Finish it up, brother.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. Because we've been going through the most pain.
We've been going through
from-
sorrow. This is sorrow.
You understand?
Right now, what we seeing our brothers and sisters go through all these different murders.
Right.
We're seeing our brothers and sisters being disproportionately incarcerated. We're seeing our brothers and sisters disproportionately die from corona. That's sorrow.
That's sorrow.
But he's going to give us rest from the sorrow. Uh-huh.
And thy fear.
The fear every day you go out of your door that a police is going to gun you down and get away with it.
Exactly.
Right.
Or your brother's going to gun you down and get
You
away with it.
understand?
Right, the fear that a mother has when their child leaves and then they don't even know they're gonna come home that night.
Either way,
fear.
that fear is always going to be there for us.
And you're not tired of it because again, if you tired of it, you tired of the tears, you tired of crying, you tired of marching, all that, This is the answer.
This is
right
solution.
here.
We do have the answer, Sweat.
Right. We do have the answer, Sweat.
Okay.
Right.
And from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Who served the hard bondage?
Oh, it's the Jewish man. That's who it is. With the
How?
curls.
How?
They served the hard bondage.
How?
In the so-called Holocaust.
How, Sway?
That's you know what I mean?
How,
Because that's
Sway?
really the chosen people is them.
How, Sway?
Come on, man.
So it's letting you know. It's letting you know. We ain't gonna even dabble too much because if you can't get it, we moving on.
No, for
Feel me?
real. And then you know what? Just to get even more clarification, we're gonna get into Obadiah 15.
Right, where we going? And again, we're in the so-called Old Testament right now, where your pastor doesn't want to really go to. A lot of times, because again, this prophecy speaks against the things that and the orders that are in place today, and how to revolutionize the state that we're in. Because all y'all that thought that this Bible was given to us by the Caucasian man, that's a dub. For all y'all that thought that if you speak about the Bible, you somehow soft, that's a dub. This is the most revolutionary book in the world.
That's a fact. People
In
getting
the world.
murked.
In the world.
Getting murked.
This is about a people who have been sorely oppressed and how they can rise up and subdue and usurp the oppressor. This is the Bible that you have in your drawer that's collecting dust.
That's a fact. So we gonna hit him in that
The
out.
Most High is a man of war, man.
Right.
That's a fact. Understand?
Like he said. So it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. Uh-oh. be
Who the
ready.
heathen?
Who are the heathen?
Who the heathen?
Everybody
the heathen are what
except
we just read.
Israelites.
Right.
Those are the strangers.
You a heathen for that.
You a heathen.
You just the word is like a nation. You just something else. You know why? Because of your customs, your practices. They are abominable. You know what I'm saying? Getting tattoos, cutting your flesh, eating pork, certain of these different animals. This is what makes you heathenish. Celebrating things that you shouldn't be celebrating.
All these holidays. You know what I mean?
This is what makes you a heathen, because you're separated and alienated from the righteous way.
Okay. So for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
As thou, how exactly has the heathen done?
Oh man, they
When we
violated.
sit back and look at how the heathen has done.
Oh man, they pillaged the whole earth.
So what do you
Rape,
think is coming
murder.
to you?
Right.
What do you think coming to
Diseases.
you?
Nah, you see, an eye for an eye, that doesn't get us anywhere. It makes the whole world blind.
Man,
Nah,
listen,
the Most
you know,
High is
two
360,
wrongs-
man.
Two wrongs don't make a right, baby.
His
But it damn sure make it even.
His judgment is like onto a ring, right?
Right,
And we
man,
have to
come
understand
on.
that the Most High is karma, whatever you want to call it. But
Right.
his judgment is like onto a ring. It
Right.
comes back 360.
What you reap, you gonna sow. So
Exactly.
it's simple.
So that eye for an eye bullshit where you turn the other cheek. Look, listen, man. Y'all have to understand the Bible. Read it in its context.
Right. Do turn the other cheek, but do it for your people.
For your people.
For your people.
Not
Yeah.
for the heathen.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Right.
Give them what it is that they are deserving of.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
explain just that. That turn the other cheek is simply just saying, if your brother offends you or sins against you, forgive him. Have some forgiveness. If he come to you and tell you he's sorry, allow him another opportunity.
Right.
That's all that's saying.
Your people
it's not
only.
telling you to let heathens kill you in the streets in cold blood, and you ain't
Exactly.
supposed to do
You're
nothing
not
but
doing
pray
it.
for him and hug him.
Exactly.
crazy.
Pray for them and hug them, and now they take a knee, which, oh, by the way, is how they killed this brother. But they take a knee with you in protest, and now they're on our side.
No, they're taking that knee to mock
mock
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Come
that's
on.
what their fellow officer did. But you gotta understand, black people don't understand that. You have to understand. First of all, the police force is a lower level of masonry in itself,
Well,
and they speak.
a
and
lot
they
of
speak through.
police are Masons.
Hey, exactly.
They're
But
Masons.
it is. A
They're
part of,
fraternal order.
Exactly.
The police officers are
Yeah,
fraternal. Right.
just like the Ku Klux Klan is, Knight of the
Right.
Ku Klux Klan. You got to understand these things. It's a pyramid
Right.
of order between them. Like how we're supposed to be organized, they are organized. It's an organized system to kill us off. You have to understand that so they can stay in power.
Right.
So they're basically mocking you when they're taking this knee. They don't speak with words. They speak with actions and certain body language. That's how they get their points across. So we're going to get back into it. It says, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually.
Meaning you're going to reap what you sow.
Right.
You did all of this corruption. You did all this fighting, stealing. You're going to have to do that in the end. A lot of the stuff y'all did to get this country, that's what you're going to have to do in the end to survive. You're going to have to do it, but you're going to be tired of doing it. It ain't going to work for you this time.
Right, it's not gonna be what gets you to the position of power. It's gonna be you're gonna be doing all this fighting. And by the way, you're still gonna lose.
Exactly.
Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
You're going to be like you ain't exist because, newsflash, if you've never read the book of Obadiah, it ends with the nation of Edom, which y'all can go look into who that is. They're going to be eradicated from planet Earth.
Right, and wouldn't it just be a better place? I'm just gonna say it. Wouldn't it be a better place if that demographic of people that are in power currently and have stolen this country, wouldn't it be a better place if they were not making the decisions, so there would not be any GMOs in your food, so that the soil that you grow your crops in won't be contaminated as well, so that they wouldn't be putting mercury into your blood via these vaccines?
Oh man,
Mercury in your mouth.
Yeah,
dead fetus cells.
Wouldn't it just be a better place if they weren't the ones making the decisions? You gotta think on that.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
Meaning among the Israelites. That's Mount Zion, the collective or congregation of the Israelites.
And there shall be holiness.
Meaning we're going to be
Separate.
set apart. That goes into how he's going to give us our own land.
Exactly.
You feel me? We're going to be able to keep the customs that mean something to us. Continue.
And the house of Jacob, and you heard this in Isaiah 14, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
So what are the possessions? We just read it
These
in Isaiah
heathens,
14.
These people, these other nations for doing this wrong, they're going to be our possessions.
And so that's what I'm saying, because these so-called allies of yours, they're not willing to be a possession. You know what it is? If I possess this hat,
We can't take
this is
that.
a Black Justice hat, by the way, by Hebrew by Nation. What's they
HFG _
something like that
MG
on there. Black-owned businesses though. So this is my hat. I possess this hat. If I want to throw this in the garbage right now, this brother's not going to say I can't do that. Nor will this brother. This is something that I possess. I own this. I can do whatever. Throw it out the window, step on it, light it on fire, whatever. My point being, if a people are not willing to be a possession unto you, chances are you can't really trust them to the death.
Exactly.
Because they're going to want to do their own thing.
And that's to the point that we were saying earlier, that they're going to have to understand that their kingdom is fallen, and they're going to have to follow what we say. And will they? You know what I mean?
They're going to follow it because they're not going to look at it. See, the thing is, they're going to follow it. So I'm going to tell you, right now, more and more people, it's going to be more and more eyes upon us. The eyes are already on us. But as these eyes are on us, y'all are going to start to see more and more of the Spirit of God come down upon his people.
Right.
And you're going to hear more things. You're going to see things you haven't seen in these last days. But you're going to see the glory of God upon his children. So y'all ain't going to be confused. Y'all don't know what's going on.
Right.
And you're going to know who you're messing with.
But they're going to have to see it, though.
They're going to have to see it.
Right. That's why all these words, like the brother Free was saying, all these words that I'm down for you and you are the real children of God and all that.
You're gonna see when they really get to the down and gritty with it. You know what I mean? Because now that's like if I go to the protest right now and I look at Becky and be like, "Yo, you're my possession. Like, you coming with me?" She be like, "Nigga, like
you can't even say that to Eve. That's your wife."
You feel me? Right. And that's what I'm saying. But this is prophesied that this is going to happen. This is what the Most High wants to happen.
So if you against this, then you against the will of the Most High.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Automatically. This is not our words. This is straight God speaking right here.
And really, if you against the will of the Most High, man, sorry for you. Sorry for you. You're actually leading a miserable life, unbeknownst to you.
Okay. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire.
What we read about the multitude of. Could you read that one part again out of the second address?
Oh, he had it.
16. Do you have it? Hold up.
Nah, well, he had it.
16. For there shall be sedition among men.
No, the fire. The part about the multitude being a flame.
For behold, the burning wrath of the great multitude is kindled over you.
So it's likening this multitude and its anger unto a fire being kindled. This same parabology is being shown when we read Obadiah. Now go back and read that.
And
part.
the house of Jacob shall be a fire.
So is it saying that the Israelites are going to literally turn into fire? No, that's not what it's saying.
So we're going to turn it up.
We're going to turn it up.
We can turn it up on y'all. And which is what's happening right now. That's why I said, y'all worried about this looting and all that. This is supposed to happen. When you go to war, you pillage the whole town. Shit gets burnt down. Know what I mean? You mess up their food stores. You mess up their money. You hit them where it hurts. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you go to these museums, you see all of our ancestors' shit in there. See all the gold. The Vatican got all our stuff in there. Like, what y'all think this is? They looted a whole people. And y'all talking about Target and Fifth Ave.
And really, this place is not ours anyway.
Exactly. This is not even our home, man.
I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say
Well,
that.
our people, you know what?
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, it's not a place of rest.
It belongs to us, though.
No, yeah,
It still belongs to
this whole
us.
world was made by our sake, as we know.
Yeah, because I ain't jacking that either, because I hate that. You know, I thought about it, because, you know, white people be quick to tell you, go back to Africa, but just go back. As if, well, what sense would that make to me? My ancestors, off of their blood, sweat, off the black backs, was this country built. Why would I build this country up for free, then give it to you and leave?
Yeah, you crazy?
Come on. Sure. No, we're going to fight over it. And if we got to burn this joint down where don't nobody get it, then oh well.
Exactly.
It's going to get burnt anyway, this place.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's...
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble.
So it's letting you know that the Israelites going to be turned up, and the Edomites, whoever those people might be, are going to get burned.
Take a lucky guess.
Whoever those people might
And
be.
they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For
Oh,
the
my
Lord,
gosh.
For the Most High have spoken it.
I've spoken it. Give a round of applause. Give a round of applause for that, man.
That book is deep, man.
Give a round of applause for that.
This right here, man, this what your pastor don't want to read. They
Right,
want to read.
you're not going to hear that in your Sunday church sermon.
He ain't gonna be able to break that down to you in a literal context to give you the real time now sense. Because we gotta realize the Bible is a living, breathing book. It didn't just go to sleep after Christ and now everything from the Old Testament out the window.
Exactly.
Most of the prophecy from the Old Testament
It ain't
hasn't
even
been
happened
fulfilled.
yet.
Haven't been fulfilled. And
Exactly.
again, you should care about this because you love your Jesus Christ. You should care about prophecy because the scripture said he comes in a volume of the book.
That's a fact.
So we're gonna break it down for him. This is the last scripture right here, just to solidify how real it is.
Right.
This
Give
is
us
Jeremiah 51:20. And it says, Thou art my battle axe and the weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations.
No, he's going to love all the nations and bring everybody in unity together.
No, for with thee I will break in pieces the nations.
So the Most High God is letting us know that he's gonna use us
To destroy
as his battle
everybody
axe
else.
and his weapon of war to destroy everybody else.
And with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
So he's gonna break in pieces the nations and destroy kingdoms with us. So all it is, oh, we shall overcome.
Yeah, it's so
Hey, you want to get along to get along? No, that's gonna come to an end. And if you're a cooned out Negro that want to play both sides, you're gonna end up dead. I'm just gonna tell you, you're gonna end up dead.
Yeah, you got to pick a side.
Cause I'm gonna tell you, you coon Negroes, we see you.
We see you.
We see you.
You're not low.
You not low. We watching you.
Right.
We watching you. You cooned out Negroes. We already know who you is. So don't think at the last minute you're going to try to come get with brothers. No. That's not how it's going to happen.
Facts. Stay where you at. Man. So on that note, man, you know, is the solution for us, you know, doing better is to understand our history and understand the plan that the Most High has. His blueprint is going to stand forever. Y'all don't understand that. You can't go against the blueprint. So if you're not with it, you get laid down. Know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just going to put that out there for y'all.
Hey.
Right. So, did you want to say anything in closing?
Man, listen, man, y'all stay strong. Y'all stay in the spirit, man. Y'all keep praying for us, and we're going to keep praying for y'all.
Right. Keep tuning in, man, to the Breadful Podcast because if you haven't gathered it already, we don't care about the politically correctness. We're going to give it to you until they take us off here. And if those of you that have the power digitally to try to take us off here, if you want to take us off here, you got to check your spirit and ask yourself, why do I want these black brothers of mine because we understand if it's somebody who's not of our nation that wants to do that. But if we are of your own nation, you got to try to say, why would I want what they're saying to be quieted? All they're doing is telling us the blueprint on how to take our kingdom back. And we're talking about doing it in a way that will be the solution, because we've tried everything else. We've tried everything else. Aren't y'all tired? Y'all always say that y'all are. Come back to this Bible to understand who you are, man.
Right.
You guys say anything you want to say on that?
No, man.
Brother said it all, man, so we want to get to see you.
You can't handle the truth.
Y'all
Peace.
can't, man.
That's right.
And y'all can't peep it. It's the same thing that went down in Egypt.
Oh!
Only the woke could see it. So if you gonna walk it, you better be it. Or like a slave is how you gonna get treated.
Hey!
Know what I mean? Hey, took it back on some 90s flow for y'all.